introduce yourself and tell your story.
Okay. My name is Emma, and I'm from Denmark, but I'm originally from Denmark, but I live in Los Angeles, and I've been there 11 years. And I was a vegan for 5 months, about 3 years ago, and I've been a vegetarian, not completely, but most of the time for almost all of my life. And I've always had major stomach issues, like extreme bloating, constipation, and I never understood what was wrong. And everyone kept telling me, just eat more fiber, and don't eat meat because meat is bad for you, and all this stuff. And it never got better. And the one time that I actually felt pretty good was when I tried the GAPS diet a few years ago. I did that for about 2 months, and I felt pretty good, but it was just really hard to keep it up. And also at the time I was convinced that meat was bad for you, that you should minimize it, so I felt bad about eating all that meat. So I stopped, and then I had a friend, or I have a friend who was vegan, and she said, you need to go vegan, that's the only thing, and that was pretty much the only thing I hadn't tried. So I was like, okay, if you think so, and she worked in a health food store, and also kind of like new agey, and I wouldn't say I am new agey, but I grew up in a new age environment, so that's also why I was a vegetarian, for most of my life. So I tried going vegan, and the first month I felt okay, and then slowly I just started feeling worse and worse, just extremely tired, and my stomach didn't get better either. I also felt like, because I still like to drink alcohol every now and then, and if I would go out and drink, I would get much more drunk and have much more of a hangover. When I was vegan, it was like I was just always hungry and just didn't feel good. And then I feel like it might have been, was it the other way around? I think I actually might have tried, someone told me, oh, you must have candida overgrowth.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, and I had tried the anti-candida diet a few years ago, and I thought, sure, that's probably what it is. And so I tried Googling anti-candida vegan diet, and nothing came up. The only thing that came up was a blog that said you need to realize that there's no way of healing the gut unless you eat meat. And this woman had healed her gut issues with the GAPS diet. And so that's how I came into that and stopped being a vegan, actually, now that I'm thinking back.
So that's it, it was the stomach issues?
Yeah.
That was the worst part?
Yeah. Well, no, the veganism, the worst part was feeling really, really tired. And the stomach issues, now that I'm kind of learning more about diets and how much nutrition there is in meat and all this kind of stuff. And a friend of mine, he told me that his dad is the guy that invented baby formula. And he said that the only thing that really is an issue with being a vegetarian is if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking back, oh, my mom didn't eat meat when she was breastfeeding me, or when she was pregnant with me, and I had major colic when I was little. I had cavities in all of my teeth, the ones that I lost. And the dentist kept saying to my mom, don't give her any sugar. But she wasn't giving me any sugar because I had so many allergies that she thought I was allergic to all these different things, and she was just feeding me, lots of grains and dairy and vegetables. But I kept having all these like cavities and stomach issues, colic, um, and yeah. And it wasn't until recently I realized that okay, it's deficiencies. I wasn't actually getting enough nutrients.
What do you eat now?
So now I eat. I'm trying to get into your diet. It's a little hard for me. I was never a fan of meat to begin with, obviously being raised as a vegetarian.
Sure.
But I'm trying. And what I do like a lot is raw milk and raw eggs. And I've always liked cheese, so still very much into cheese. And I do like meat and fish, so I do eat it. But the raw thing is a little hard for me still.
Yeah.
But I tried some today, and so far so good.
Did you use some supplements in your life as a vegetarian or vegan?
Only as a vegan.
Okay.
I took something that should give you B12.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you have any friends who are vegan or who don't want to have anything to do with you or anything like that at all?
No, actually,
Vegetarians.
the one friend that got me into veganism, she's also just very open-minded, and she was also the one that kind of got me into conspiracy theories and all, and researching different topics and stuff like that. And she, as soon as I told her about these things and how much more nutrition there is in meat, and you can just go and look at the scales, she was like, "Oh, I've been psyoped," and she went straight into eating meat again. Yeah, and she felt really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And
Anything?
she'd been a vegan for I think like 5 years or something like that.
Yeah. Anything you want to say to vegans if anybody's watching?
I would just say if you have stomach issues of any kind, actually fiber is the main issue. I would say. And there's nothing wrong with healthy meat, grass-fed meat, and yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Would you say that veganism was a mistake then, or?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the other thing I forgot. That was also one of the reasons I stopped, was because all of a sudden my teeth started looking really strange, the coloring.
Yeah.
And then I went to the dentist, and they said I had like 12 cavities.
Did you eat a lot of fruit or what?
No, not particularly. No, I think I was just lacking a lot of nutrients.
Yeah, that's also a thing.
Yeah, because really before I went vegan, the only thing, because I was mainly vegetarian, I was mostly just eating a lot of eggs, which I feel really good about eating eggs. I would always recommend that. And so I was cutting out really just cheese and eggs, and that made such a difference.
Did you think that killing animals is wrong all of your life?
Yep, I did.
And you still do?
No, I feel like when I look at nature, and this is how the circle of life is,
Right.
I feel like maybe it's my point of view that's wrong. I still feel like I wouldn't be able to kill an animal, but I went to kind of a holistic madman in California one time who looks at blood, and he can see like what you're lacking in your blood, and he told me like all the B vitamins and folic acid and stuff like that I was lacking, and he said the best thing you can do is eat ribeye a couple of times a week. And I said, but I don't want to eat meat, and I feel like I shouldn't be eating meat because I wouldn't be able to kill it myself. And he said, well, if you were in nature, you would be in a tribe, and there would be other people that would be able to kill, you know. So
That's true. A lot of times the men go hunting.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, being raised in, you know, new age kind of environment, you are very much into, you know, we're all one. animals are just your friends and all this stuff, and
Yeah.
you know, and that they can be, but it's still, we are in nature, and they also eat each other, and we're part of
Sure.
that. Yeah. And also, it was very interesting what you were talking about with the digestive system. That our digestive system doesn't look like you know, a vegetarian
At all.
animal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, that's that's very convincing to me. And then just how I feel. Yeah.
Yeah. We have receptors for heme iron in the gut. That says it all. There's no argument there that
Yeah.
you gotta eat animals.
Yeah.
It's just naturally who we are.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing.